Promise to do my best.
This program is designed for volunteer leaders and parents of boys in a Cub Scout or Boy Scout program, as well as any individual concerned with the safety and well-being of youth. Youth protection begins with you. We appreciate you being a part of helping keep our youth as safe as possible. Adult volunteer leaders must complete this training and retake the training every 2 years to remain current. If your youth protection training is not current at the time your unit recharters, you will not be re-registered. After completing this session, which will take about 30 minutes, you should know and be able to identify the Boy Scouts of America youth protection policies, as well as follow reporting procedures for policy violations or suspected abuse. A special note about parents. Parents are involved in the protection of their children in a variety of ways, including being involved in their children's scouting activities. All parents receive important information concerning the scouting program, as well as its youth protection program policies, as part of their children's membership application. In addition, we strongly recommend all leaders encourage parents to take BSA youth protection training. This information is provided to help you detect any violations of the BSA's youth protection policies. Every Boy Scout Council employs a full-time staff member known as a Scout Executive, who, along with other representatives of the Council, makes the scouting program known and available to chartered organizations so youth may have the benefit of the scouting program. Any violations or concerns should be immediately called to the attention of the chartered organization or the unit committee or the adult in charge of the specific event or activity, and to the Scout Executive or his designee. Parents also need to review and discuss with their child the booklet, How to Protect Your Children from Child Abuse and Drug Abuse, a Parent's Guide, inserted in every Boy Scout and Cub Scout handbook. Remember, youth protection begins with you. Your knowledge and awareness of BSA's youth protection policies, barriers to abuse, and mandatory reporting of child abuse will help make scouting safer for everyone. Child abuse is a significant societal problem, harming not only the victims and their families, but also causing negative impacts on youth-serving organizations and our communities. Abusers are often not strangers to their victims, typically do not have a criminal record, and may even be a friend, family member, other trusted adult, or even a scout leader. This training program focuses on BSA-developed youth protection policies, the rules we follow to eliminate or reduce the opportunities for abuse to occur within scouting. You can find the youth protection policies online at scouting.org under the Youth Protection tab or in the Guide to Safe Scouting, available online or in your local scout shop. Youth protection is an important part of planning for every scouting activity.
Rules, okay? So rule number 1 is no fighting.
The policies take into account the kinds of activities included in scouting and how those activities could present an opportunity for abuse by adults or youth. These policies serve to protect our youth and adult members. You should take action immediately to stop any observed violation of a youth protection policy. In addition, report the violation right away to the designated leader of the activity. Also, report the violation to your local Scout Executive as soon as possible. Here's how this session works. We cover a few policies at a time, then ask you to answer some questions, and sometimes assess a staged scenario featuring a particular policy violation. The last section explains reporting procedures. All adults, regardless of whether they are registered, must adhere to the BSA's youth protection policies when engaged in scouting activities or outings. Let's get started with what we mean by the term adequate supervision. A pair of policies addresses the concept, too deep leadership and no one-on-one contact. Too deep leadership calls for a minimum of 2 registered adult leaders or 1 registered adult leader and a parent of a participant or other adult to be present on all trips and outings. One of the 2 must be 21 years of age or older. Too deep leadership creates obvious barriers to abuse as the adults monitor one another's behavior. In addition, too deep leadership provides protection to adults. The related policy, no one-on-one contact, prevents youth from being isolated with an adult. When situations call for private conversations or personal conferences, the talks may be conducted out of earshot, but must be in full view of other adults and youth. The no one-on-one contact policy even applies to meetings with merit badge counselors and Scoutmaster conferences, so please plan accordingly. Respect of privacy, the next policy, also extends to all facets of Scouting. Scouting features lots of outdoor activities, including situations such as changing clothes and taking showers at camp. Respect the privacy of youth members in all such situations. Adults should protect their own privacy as well. Intruding on the privacy of youth should only occur when required to maintain the health and safety of the Scouts.
Well, there's one just like that right through that path. I was wondering if you want to go check it out. Yeah. Sure, why don't you get your backpack? Yeah, I'll show you because it's not very far from...
When we go off away from other people, we always need to be two deep leadership, either two adults with one boy.
You raccoons over there. You want to come check it out? Yeah, you go. Put up your knife. Let me show you. It's right through here. So, thing is, if you go right through this trail over here.
Remember the guidelines regarding too deep leadership and no one-on-one contact.
The next policy extends the respect of privacy to the use of cameras, imaging, and digital devices. No device capable of recording or transmitting images should be used to take photos or video in shower houses, restrooms, or other times when participants can expect privacy. Take action immediately to stop any violation of the digital devices policy and report the violation right away to the designated leader of the activity. Report the violation to your local Scout executive as soon as possible. In addition, confiscate the device and give it to the designated leader of the activity or the local Scout executive as soon as possible. Any leader receiving such a device should take steps to deliver it to the Scout executive as soon as possible. Such action prevents the images from being deleted or uploaded to the Internet. The fifth policy applies to camping. No youth is permitted to sleep in the tent of an adult other than his own parent or guardian. Councils are strongly encouraged to have separate shower and latrine facilities for females. When not available, separate times for male and female use should be scheduled and posted for showers. Likewise, youth and adults must shower at different times. Scouting activities require proper clothing. For example, skinny dipping or revealing bathing suits are not appropriate in Scouting. Likewise, undergarments should be worn with ceremonial attire. The Boy Scouts of America does not allow any secret organizations as part of its program. In particular, if you are a leader who has direct contact with youth, pay attention to behavior on outings or campouts that might indicate the boys are operating their own secret societies or conducting initiation rites. These actions can lead to abuse by youth on youth and should be stopped immediately. All aspects of the Scouting program are open to observation by parents and leaders to protect from hazing, bullying, or peer-on-peer abuse. Discipline in Scouting should be constructive and reflect Scouting's values. Corporal punishment, hazing, or intimidation are all prohibited. And now a word about grooming, a technique used by molesters to gain the trust of a child. The process typically begins with apparently innocent touching, non-sexual hugging, pats on the back, massaging the neck. The molester usually seeks a child needing affection or attention and makes the child feel special by spending time with the youth, giving gifts, and in many cases, money. They may also offer the child rides to and from activities, which violates the no one-on-one contact policy. Once conditioned to the physical contact and emotionally connected to the abuser, the contact becomes more intrusive. Adhering to the no one-on-one contact and too deep leadership policies, even outside of Scouting, will help prevent grooming and subsequent abuse.
Remember the guidelines about privacy and consider how easy it is to put pictures on the internet.
In keeping with providing a safe scouting experience for all youth, hazing and initiations in all forms are prohibited in scouting and may not be part of any scouting activity. While the BSA encourages youth leaders to be actively involved in helping execute the scouting program, adult leaders must monitor and guide the leadership techniques used by youth leaders to ensure compliance with BSA policies. And under no circumstances should youth leaders administer discipline without adult leader guidance. The principles set forth in the Scout Oath and Scout Law set the standards for behavior regarding the member responsibilities policy. Physical violence, hazing, bullying, verbal insults, theft, drugs, and alcohol have no place in scouting. Such actions may result in revoking a Scout's membership. While encouragement is fine, taunting or pressuring peers to partake in program activities with risk with which they are uncomfortable, including high adventure, should not be tolerated. In addition, remember that secret organizations are not permitted in scouting. Let's take some time here and specifically discuss bullying. Scout leaders should be on the alert for signs of bullying, since youth often don't report the experience. If you observe frequent absences, nervousness around certain other scouts, or anger and resentment with no apparent cause, that individual may be a victim of bullying. In addition, physical signs such as cuts and bruises or avoiding group restrooms may indicate bullying. Investigate by talking individually, but in full view of others, to a suspected target, and by increasing adult supervision, especially of the suspected bully. When you know bullying occurs, take these steps to rectify the situation. Stop the actions and protect the target from danger. Identify the behavior in a calm tone and tell the bully his actions are unacceptable and will not be tolerated. Talk to the target, explaining that bullies have underlying problems causing their behavior. Encourage the target to tell his parents. Talk to the parents of the bully, but avoid using the term bullying. Refer instead to the actual behavior that must stop. Convene a patrol leaders' council to address the behavior and brainstorm ways to prevent future bullying. Call for a committee meeting to address expectations and consequences to the bully and his parents. For serious incidents, call your local Scout executive. Always model kind behavior yourself, and let the Scouts know the Scout Oath and the Scout Law should be guiding their actions at all times. Technology has spawned other ugly forms of harassment, including cyberbullying, the use of computers, cell phones, or other digital devices to intimidate, threaten, and harm others. Tactics include spreading damaging gossip, sending hateful messages, and pretending to be someone else and posting harmful information. Ask your Scouts to report being cyberbullied to a trusted adult, even if they say they're afraid to do so. Encourage them to block messages or delete messages without reading them. If threats occur, parents should call the police. The final policy covers unit responsibilities. The head of the chartered organization or the chartered organization representative must approve the registration of all unit leaders. Adult leaders of scouting units have the responsibility to monitor the behavior of youth members and intercede when necessary.
Gotta stay in bounds.
Parents of misbehaving youth members should be informed and provide assistance in dealing with the misbehavior. Serious incidents should be reported immediately to the local Scout executive. Good job! Let's wrap up this session with a discussion of reporting requirements and how to deal with youth who come to you with allegations of abuse. Again, if you witness the violation of a youth protection policy, you should stop the violation immediately and report the incident to the person in charge of the activity and your local Scout executive as soon as possible. You must report to local authorities and comply with whatever regulations apply to your location. If a youth comes to you with allegations of abuse, you must accept their information at face value. Be supportive and encouraging. Document exactly what the child tells you. Child molesters frequently scare their victims into thinking no one will believe the victim. Listen carefully to what the youth tells you, then report the incident to the person in charge of the activity and the local Scout executive and other appropriate agencies as required by law. The BSA provides several resources to further aid in protecting our youth. The Guide to Safe Scouting prepares adult leaders to conduct scouting activities in a safe and prudent manner. It Happened to Me offers parents and guardians of Cub Scout-aged youth a forum for engaging in age-appropriate sexual abuse prevention training by viewing and discussing the video. The Cub Scout meeting guide accompanying the video walks you through how to conduct the session. A Time to Tell provides parents and guardians of Boy Scout-aged youth the opportunity to engage in age-appropriate training and discussion with their troops about sexual abuse prevention. The Troop Meeting Guide offers step-by-step guidelines for conducting the session. Personal safety awareness teaches venturers ways to protect themselves from abuse.